Hello everyone once again. Sorry for the delay. Yeah. So I guess so far so good we are, and we can proceed further. And maybe today I'll complete the entire string part. Actually, it was quite lengthy topic, but yeah, somehow yesterday I was looking into one of the book, and I have found like somehow I'm able to complete, or maybe I am able to cover all the topics which, or maybe method and functions which are already present over in a string. So somehow we are good. Okay. Apart from this, what else I would want to tell you is okay, nothing. We can discuss later on, but let's just get started the things where we were actually. So let me share my screen. First of all, let me share with PPT. Yep, here we go. And let me see where. Guys, if I'm not mistaken, just correct me. Yeah. So we have covered yesterday, partition part, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, even I have talked about how exactly we can divide the string based on the separator, and generally how exactly it will return uh, tuple, which consists proceeding part, you can say preceding parts before that, and then separator, and then the part of the string, you can say. Okay, which follows basically separator. Yeah, so this method, I must say, like, I have covered dot partition, which you might have seen the example as well. Let me see, and let me correlate whether I am on a right page or not. If I'm looking into my code, yeah, so this one we have already covered. We Now we can move further. Okay. Yes, so let me share again my screen with you all. Yep, so this one is fine. Now let me cover R split and S split. Okay, so again, a split is a function, you can say, or one kind of method. So it has some variant. When I talk about some variant, that means one is normal split, another one is R split. Okay, so you have to know about what exactly the difference between the normal and the R split. See, if you will not specify anything, then it will behave like a normal. Okay. Okay, if you will specify R split, then it is gonna read it from the R side. Or if you will specify left, then it is gonna if you are gonna specify R, then it is gonna read from the right hand side. Okay, now guys, give me a moment. Yeah, sorry guys. So where we were, yeah, so I was speaking about split. So it will split basically the string into a list of substrings, and if separator is specified somehow, it is gonna used as a delimiter for splitting, and you can specify the maximum split as well. So if you will specify the max split, which is nothing but one kind of argument, that means the maximum of that many splits you need to do. Okay, so basically if you will specify that split maximum split value is 1 or maybe 2, then that many number of splits gonna happen. Okay, so that is how this method works. So even I have mentioned few of the points clearly in front of you guys. So if max split is equal to -1, that means all possible splits, means you don't need to bother about how many splits do I need to perform on this. You just need to mention -1, then that means you can perform all the possible splits. Okay, apart from that, I have mentioned one more point. Suppose in case of dot split, the splits are counted from the left end rather than the right end. So that is what the major difference between the split and the R split. So when I say dot split, that means it is gonna count everything from the left hand side, because I haven't specified anything. Okay, so by default it performed from the left hand side. If I will specify something, that means if I will specify R split, then it is gonna count from the right hand side. Okay, now if you wanted to see the difference and you wanted to perform some check, then let me take these two examples which I am currently taking in front of you. Let me go back to my Jupyter notebook. This one, let me go there. Yes, and now let me write down here and let me take one by one each you know example. So here I'm gonna write a split method basically, which will cover both. So let me first perform one example. Here I'm gonna write Control V. So first of all, let me perform R split. Okay, so I'm gonna perform R split in this. Let me see what exactly the output I'm gonna get. Okay, so if you will see here, I'm not performing anything here. That means something is wrong with this string. Let me see if I can do something here. Okay, I guess I'm not doing anything. Here is everything right. And then let me write here. Let me see what exactly the output it is gonna print. Yep. So there was unnecessary, space was present. So that is why I have removed that. Now you can see, like, if I have performed R split, I haven't specified any argument. Then what it is trying to do is it is gonna split everything. Basically by default it will split based on the space which is being given on a string. So it will separate it: fan, bow, narrow, win. So basically R split does this. Now suppose I just wanted to perform on the same, let's say my string is quite different. Okay, let me take my string is like this. Basically my string is separated by, or you can say like each word is being separated by some dot. So you can see, I guess everybody will be able to see that dot is being separated, means that this particular word is being separated with dot. This one is also separated with dot. I guess everybody is able to see that. If yes, then if you will go here. Okay, let me see. Now you have to run these. So you can see here it is gonna work, but and it is gonna separate it from based on the word, based on the dot value. Now same thing, if I am gonna specify, like, let me perform this. Let me take same example again, and here I'm gonna specify separator as to be dot. If I will specify this, then you will see you won't get the correct output. So it is not gonna take this value because there is nothing called as dot separator. So if even though if you will merge these all string and you will write like this, then what would be the output? See, you won't get anything here. Okay, so you can see, if you want to separate using dot, or maybe you wanted to separate it by comma, or maybe you wanted to separate it by colon. So based on that, you have to just specify that particular argument or maybe that particular separator. So where are you going to specify this? On the argument, with the argument which is being taken by R split method. Okay, in the same manner, let me perform my to different examples where I am gonna show you what exactly the difference between the R split and S split. So let me write here something called as this, okay, this example, and you can see here, okay, I have specified this. Here I am writing maximum split is equal to 1. If I am specifying maximum split is equal to 1, what does that mean? That means we need only one split. Okay, guys, please, are we clear on this or not? I have mentioned here maximum split is equal to 1. That means I need only one split. Okay, if I need one split, then let me perform first thing first. Okay, here let me take this down to here. Let me remove this. So I'm gonna write here what exactly the R split. R split here I'm gonna write split. You can see here R split and split I have specified so that you can clearly see the difference between both. Now everything is same. The string which I have taken for R split, that is also similar to the split, and here I have specified the same separator. Maximum split is nothing but the one, and you must have seen here I have written here the method called as R split. Here I have specified the method called as dot split. Okay, so there is just a difference between the R and without R. Okay, so now if I'm gonna run first one, then let me see what is the output I'm gonna get. So here you can see if I am specifying maximum split is equal to 1, that means it is gonna split into two parts. Basically one split is needed, then that means here one split is this one and another is this one. Means it is gonna read from the right side. So right side, once it is read wind, then that split is completed, because it says maximum split has to be 2, sorry 1. So here wind is being printed and rest of the string it is gonna counted as an 1. Okay, so this is what happened actually. Now let me perform the same thing here. Okay, so somebody has pinged me, right, sir, output of 202 and 203 is same, but we should we write separator is equal to, okay, dot, why should we write? So 202 and 203 we don't need to mention separator here. Why I'm saying, like, see, instead of this, let me write here, instead of any separator, let me write here something like this. That's it. Or maybe, you are having this kind of string. Then what you are gonna do? Suppose you wanted to separate it, you wanted to split it. Then how are we gonna split that? Okay. So here you have to specify it is gonna split into this. And now let's say you have, again you have some you can say, like, again some string is like match, okay, sorry, my bad, match, and then you are writing bat, and then kind. Let me write like this. And now here, if you want to write separator is equal to this one, then you can see here the output. Now look, why we need to specify separator here, you can see the example here. So if I have specified the separator comma, so this particular part till this it is gonna work. Okay, till the point he will, or till the point that method will find comma, at that point of time it will perform the split. But after that, if it won't find any separator, then it will not gonna split. You can see we are not splitting this into anything. Okay, so this is what the difference, why we need to specify the separator. Okay, yeah, so I was explaining about this R split, and I have I was, about to say what exactly is happening on a split. So let me see. Here I have just make a difference. Instead of R split, I'm going to use a split, and let me perform the same thing. Now you can see here the output of previous one is like this. Now the input of output of the this one is like this. So now that means split gonna read from this, from the left hand side. That is why it makes one split at here. It will read, R split will read from the right hand side. That is why it is gonna make split like this. So if you still you want me to perform some more maximum split you wanted to change, then we can specify as in 2. Here I'm gonna do this, and then let me see. Yes, you can see wind and narrow. Now maximum split is 2. Then wind is one split, narrow is another split. Or maybe you can say like one or two split has been done, then third one is separated as a single. Now same way, suppose I'm gonna write split here, and if I will mention maximum split is equal to 2, that means it will do first fan and bow as in maximum split 2, and then narrow and wind is a combining into the one. So you can clearly see what exactly the difference between these two. So guys, I hope I have given pretty much good example, and it's pretty much clear from example also what exactly the difference between the split and R split, what exactly the split does. So are we clear, guys? If you still persist any sort of question, please do let me know, because I must say I have given a good example, and it's pretty much clear to everyone now. People are saying we understand. Thank you so much. Clear. Yeah. Okay, great. Now let me move on to the next. Now let me move on to the this. There is another thing, okay, another method which is nothing but the split lines. Okay, so I have one string. I wanted to perform split lines method. Okay, and here I am gonna pass argument as an key pends. What does that mean is, according to the definition, what it is saying is it will split a string into the lines and return them in a list. So suppose you have in your string there is multiple lines, let's say, or maybe suppose you have one string. Now what it does, it will split the entire string into the lines, and then it will return you as a list. Okay, and the character sequence is considered to constitute the line boundaries. How exactly I am gonna split, what exactly the boundaries are behind that split, those are all we need to specify, you can say. Okay, now if that is the case, then what all keep ends, or maybe you need to know what all are line separator. Okay, so first let me touch upon line separator, what does that is. So I don't know how many of you followed my previous very beginning lecture, so but I have clearly specified about what is line separator, what is basically escape sequences. So you can see if somewhere in a string I will specify slash n, that means that is new line. Okay, if I'm gonna specify backslash r, then that means it is gonna carry a return. If I'm gonna specify backslash r and backslash n, that means it will return as well as it will line feed. Line feed, maybe you can say like the next line. Now another one is line tabulation, what exactly we will be using as a line separator. And then we have form feed, we have file separator, we have group separator, we have record separator. how are we going to use all these? So first of all, let me just talk about one thing. Now, one, when I say, I don't know how many of you remember this, but this is very important because many a time we generally use this. So let me first perform, and maybe it's a sort of a revision which you guys needed right now. I must know, like, you guys have forgot that what exactly I have taught in the beginning of my classes. So let me write here a print. I'm gonna write print, and I'm going to specify here Praveen. Praveen, and I'm gonna write backslash and then I will write sing. And then again, let me write backslash and then I'm gonna write, sorry, my bad. I have to write Kumar is in the first and then sing. Anyway, that doesn't matter here right now. Let me see what exactly the output I'm gonna get. So you can see I'm getting Praveen as in one line. Because of backslash n, I'm getting sing in another line and Kumar is in another line. So same way, if we will perform the same set of operations or maybe a skip character, instead of backslash n, I'm gonna use R. So if I'm gonna use R, then what exactly the output I should be getting is, you can see here we are getting what? So you may think like, what exactly sir has done now? You can see sing, okay. After sing, what exactly we are getting? First we are getting sing and then en, okay. Then en, this one, okay. If I will specify this control s, let me write here, let me see what exactly the output. It's pretty much same, okay. So we need to perform this in between. Now let us take some more example from my PowerPoint. So here let me see one example which I have mentioned here. Now I wanted to perform the same operation. I don't know how many of you are able to see my screen of Jupyter Notebook. If I will write here like this, let's see, fan backslash n backslash r, okay, and n here has to be, it has to be, this one, okay. Let's see what exactly the output are we going to get. We are getting fan, bow, row, bow, arrow, wind. Let me write here instead of backslash n, let me write just a backslash r. We are getting the same output. Do you guys think like how exactly this is? You can see here why nothing has been changed, or maybe split, though a split line I have performed and it does the split, but what exactly you are able to see here, I have mentioned here, I have specified backslash n. Why we are not able to see in next line? Why I have specified backslash n here also? Why we are not getting everything is in next line? Earlier we used to get this on a next line, you can see here. Now why we are not getting? So guys, let me take one more example and where I will specify this. So guys, just let me know what exactly the output are we going to get from here, from this. Okay, before that, let me run one more code. Let me write this backslash n only once, or should be our output. We are getting like this. Okay, we are supposed to get everything on a split lines. Okay, now I want you to know, to tell me what exactly the output of this. Somebody can give an attempt. Can somebody attempt this? I guess one or two people have attempted. Okay, somebody has written fan and then bow. Okay, and somebody has written fan bow. Okay, fine. 545. You are also fine. Let's see what exactly the output we will get. See, if we will specify the same, you know, sequence, skip character continuously, then it will, give a space kind of thing, which I have mentioned on my, dictionary, or maybe you can say like in my book. If we will get the consecutive boundaries characters are present in the string, then it delimit the blank lines. So here we have, continuous 2 delimit, 3 delimit you can say. Then it is gonna make blank lines for twice. Okay. So that means if we will specify the consecutive boundaries character which are present in the string, then it delimit the blank lines. So that is what happened. Okay. Now it will take some optional argument as well. Okay. So if I will specify some optional argument, then what exactly what exactly my output should be? Here, what I'm saying is it will take some optional argument. When I say optional argument, that means it will take some argument here in the method where exactly we can specify the argument. Let me write like this. Guys, can somebody give any thought on it? What exactly the output are we going to get? Guys, I need answers right now. I'm expecting somebody can ping, few people can ping, so that I can tell them exactly is it a right answer or not. Fan bow, okay. Somebody has sent fan bow, okay, fine. Other people, please give an attempt. Many of you are quite using, okay, asking, okay, one of them have asked one doubt, or maybe one question you can say. If we will write backslash n and backslash r and bow, then what would be the output? The output would be the same. So this is what you are asking, I guess. Let me write like what would be the you are asking, because it is not here. Let me write here the one which you have asked is like this one you are asking, if I'm not mistaken. Yes. So if you are asking like this, then do you think what would be the output? I don't know how many of you have given the thought. So you can see here we are getting what? We are getting one space. Okay. So now because it's a continuous, in it is in continuation. So backslash n and backslash r, that is our in continuation. Now for these many of them have given, attempt. Okay, I guess one of them is quite right. So it won't do anything. You can see it won't, specify or maybe differentiate between backslash n or backslash r. So it will just split. Okay, and whatever it is there, so it is just going to split is like this. So now with this we can close our, string kind of thing. Just one topic left behind for us to complete, or you can say with this I have closed almost most of the stuff which are quite important. Now we will be, we are left with, file operations or maybe file handling. We'll see, and then later on we will cover exceptions, how exactly it works. So all those stuffs which we need to cover, but before that, whatever important functions, methods, and topics I have already covered. So even in your industry, they are gonna ask from whatever, I have taught you guys, because that set of questions on that is how they actually build their logic and to their questions. So question is not that much difficult. It's you behind that, how exactly you guys can approach to it. Okay, so make your approach is quite simple, so that everybody can get much more clarity on that. Don't mess up with your, you can say logic, or maybe your thoughts. Okay, apply some of your brain, and then maybe you can say like apply your brain, and then you will get correct answer or results, you can say. Now here, let me stop and sharing the right one. Now in this unit, or you can say like in this entire topic, we are just left with, one topic which is nothing but the bytes object. After that we will just move on to the file. Okay, I don't know how many of you are remember about bytes. I don't know, but this, I'm not saying like topic wise I have covered, but somewhere I have used simple example as well. So where exactly we use bytes objects? So to manipulate the binary data, we use built-in data types. We use built-in types when to manipulate the binary data, we use built-in type, that is nothing but the bytes object. When we try to manipulate the binary data, what we are trying to use? We will try to use what? Bytes object. Okay. And another thing is, some of the feature which I have, carrying this feature for you guys. A byte object is an immutable sequence of single byte value. Okay. When I say immutable, what does that mean? The value is not being changeable. Okay. So you can say like the value is not being changed. Yeah. If you wanted to add something, something has to be done before you pocket. Now, tell me one thing here. Here, even I have specified. Okay, how many of you know about byte? Normal byte. Okay, bit. You guys aware about or not? Bit bytes. I don't know how many of you are using it. So, what exactly present in our computer system? What exactly? It's a binary or it's a byte of bytes. Okay, then okay. A few people are saying like we are aware about. Thank you so much. 531. You are absolutely correct. So yeah, many of you are saying like, yes, we are aware. So I have clearly said a bytes object is an immutable sequence of single byte values. When I say immutable, that means that is not gonna change. And each element in an integer is in the range of 0 to 255. So guys, I guess each element is an integer in the range of 0 to 255. So we are clear with that. Now how to define actually? So it is defined by adding a b prefix, which is how that is how we can is exactly write the string literal as well. So if you guys have remembered this, how exactly we were writing for string literal, what exactly the example I have given for a string literal, same manner, in the same manner, you have to specify for the byte object, you have to specify b as in prefix. Okay, so if you will look into the example which I am clearly given to you here, is I am writing one string. In the front of that, I am just specifying just small b. Okay. Nothing else I am gonna do the here. Let me take this example and let me show you on my system. Yep. Now you can see here, I just wanted to print what exactly it is written here. You can see here we are getting print like this. So we are getting output same, whatever the input was there. Now here, let me write something. I wanted to know the type of this, what type of this input is. So how many of you have remembered this type? And then I will specify your BO. I don't know. Nobody has raised their hand. Nobody is doing revision actually. So you can see here I have written type. What is exactly the type of this? Then it is saying like it's a bytes type. Okay. Now, are we clear till this point? So somebody has written 1 byte is equal to 8 bits. Guys, you don't know about how many bits are there in 1 byte. Okay. Anyway, let me take few more examples so that we can finish it up, or maybe we'll bind it up. Now we have learned bytes object, or maybe you can say like how exactly we can use that. Now we have something apart from that, byte object with the built-in bytes function. So we have another function available in that is built in, which is nothing but the bytes. We have to just specify this as in open and close bracket. Okay, let me share my PPT. Yeah. So we have another thing which is nothing but the bytes object with the built-in bytes function. Okay, where we have syntax is like excuse me, my syntax is like bytes, and then I have to specify, yes, s is nothing but my string, and then I'm going to specify encoding where I need to specify what kind of encoding is present. Now what it does, it will create a bytes object from the string. So it will take one string. Now it will take one string and it will convert that this byte object into the form of a string. So let me take here one example where I have just written, shit. So here I'm specifying, the bytes, the method is like this. Give me a moment. Yeah, sorry guys. So we have method called as bytes, and here I have specified the string. You can see here what exactly the string I am specifying here, and here I have written one sort of encoding. So UTF-8 I have specified here. Now let me print what exactly the output I am gonna get here. If I will write BU, and let's see. So we are getting like this. Suppose if you will not specify here any UTF, what would be the output? Suppose in your mind, like many of you are thinking like, why are you writing like this? Let me write without UTF-8. So I'm gonna remove this. Let me see what exactly the output I'm going to get. See, if we are gonna use this method, then we have to specify what type of it is. Means what type of encoding is being used. Okay. Now if I'm not specifying UTF-8, then here we are getting the output as in type error. What type of it is? That is string argument without an encoding. So guys, are you with me? Are you able to see what exactly the error is being come? What error we are getting from here? You can see when I specified UTF-8, we were not able to get any error. Now we are getting the type error where it is mentioned like string argument without an encoding. Okay, so let me comment out this, and let me uncomment this, and let me run again. You can see here we are not getting any error. So that is why we generally use to specify byte, this encoding when we try to use bytes as in method. Okay, so now let me go back to the same point. Let me see here. Okay, you can see we have specified, yep. So what it does is it will create a byte object from a string, and this exactly the example I have explained to you guys. Now operations, there are multiple operations which are present on the bytes object. So I don't know, many of you have remember like in operation, not in concatenation. When I say concatenation, what does that mean? Anybody? So when I say concatenation, that means it has to be plus. When I say replication, that means it has to be multiplier. So these are all operations that has to be performed. Even indexing, slicing, these are all operations we have learned during string. Okay, so you can assume and you can think about it, where we try to use what, and of these are all operations which are exactly similar to the string we are trying to use on a bytes object as well. Okay, so if you want me to now perform something, let's say we have some built-in function as well, like we wanted to find out length of the string, maybe we wanted to find min, max, count, find, ends with, many more. These are all the operations are there. So let me take one of the example here, and let me perform one of the built-in functions operation, or you can select built-in function. So let me see here, and let me specify here something. Here I'm gonna write method and functions by object. Here I'm gonna write like this. Here we have my string like this. Now I wanted to print the length of my string. If then I will write like length, and then I will specify bo. Guys, you guys are able to see my screen? Yes, perfectly fine. Now you can see same operation we were trying to use on a string. So when we were trying to use on a string, we were not able to mention, we were not mentioning this b, because this b is nothing but stands for what? Byte of. Okay, byte object, bytes object basically. So you can say like this operation is being done. Now if we wanted to perform some more operation, let me perform here. A is equal to what? I will write here something else. Let me write like this. And b is equal to, I will write, sorry, it has to be b is equal to, let me write here b, and then I will write here b, and then let me perform print, and then let me write a plus b. Oh, what output we are getting? Must be str, not bytes, because you have taken str this. Now instead of this, let me write like this. We are getting what? Unsupported operand. Okay, now instead of this, if I will write same thing, earlier I have written something else, now I'm gonna write b, and then I will write here what? Let me write here fg, and then this, and let me see what exactly the output I should be getting. You can see here we are getting this output as in, okay, fg and explain. That means it is gonna concatenate. So you can write here concatenation. Okay, and suppose you wanted to perform same thing on a what? Let me write here bo, and then here I'm gonna specify like this, and here I'm gonna write 4, let's say. So let me see what exactly the output I'm gonna get here. You can see we are getting a explain 4 times. That means what that operation is? It's a replication. Okay, which is nothing but the asterisk. So guys, I guess everything is clear so far. Okay, so with this we can close My session, basically why I'm saying like we can close this session is because we have covered almost everything basically, okay, even in a string part. And now we have, we are good to go for, method and all. And yeah, guys, one more thing, I do remember I have a, given one example, one or two examples for recursion function. Okay, I do remember like when I was explaining about you all what exactly the function is, how exactly the function works, and then I have given one example for how recursion function works. So if at all possible, then I will try to, cover that as well in between somewhere. I will take another one more example, but before that, I will start working on, file operations, how exactly file handling is being done, what exactly the operation, how exactly you can read input from the file and write input output to the file, how you can export, how you can take the file from your desktop and you can, see what exactly the, content written inside the file. These are all operations and these are all file operation basically, where we need to perform read, we need to perform write. These are all things which we are gonna cover from tomorrow onward. Okay, so we are very good in the course perspective as well, and even apart from the course we are good even uh, in sort of example as well as in for your interview preparation. Okay, so guys, be ready for, all the examples whatever I have taught you in my, lecture, because all these stuff gonna ask somewhere in your future. I'm assuring you. So nobody take this kind of course into that depth which I have covered you all. I don't know, even I felt very boring when I was, teaching you all about string and string operations, methods, and then I went to the string functions. These are all. So that is why I used to say, you guys, if you got some opportunity, better to utilize that opportunity, better to use that opportunity. Okay. So even I have seen like many of you guys are doing well, because when I ask some questions, then generally I got to know from you all 4 5 people are keep on pinging or keep on giving answers. So I want that strength to be, equivalent to 15 or maybe 20, which is actually good for your college, good for your, for future as well, and for the class as well, because these people are gonna, top on your, even on your academic session. So guys, it's very good, actually I can see the good sign. So tomorrow I will, definitely cover file and file operation, file handling things. Guys, anybody has any doubt on the topic which I have covered so far? If yes, please do let me know. Okay, if no, then please allow me to close this session. Okay, thank you so much. I got few answers, no doubt at all. Thank you so much. With this, I'm gonna, end my session. Thank you all.